bulletin. And then I joined Rappler. I was Rappler's first lifestyle and entertainment editor. Tapos po noon ay Yahoo Southeast Asia na. So if you notice, from print, napunta ako ng digital. And today, I am back in print, but we are also leading digital platforms no, dito sa Philstar Media Group. So thank you for taking time out of your Saturday morning to attend this class with me. And I hope I will be able to teach you what you need. And sana po nakapaganda na po tayo para sa papasok na bagyo dahil kailangan nating seryosohin yon, no? And without further delay, I can get started na. All right? So today is about the basics of feature writing. Okay, ito muna yung mga kailangan yung tandaan before we begin. This session is being recorded. Make sure you are on mute while the workshop is ongoing because if I hear anything, madidistract po ako, baka mawala yung sinishare ko sa inyo, no? If you are asked to participate, if I ask you any questions, please raise your emoji hand. Nandun po siya sa reaction button. Dito sa baba, yung pong may parang icon na puso, yan po yung react before speaking, no? That is proper manners. Do not post anything on your screen that is not related to your topic. Listen and stay focused. If you are not interested, leave the Zoom space and let the others continue learning. Your time here is your investment in yourself. And believe me when I say that knowing how to write is an important skill. If you'd like to have a digital certificate of participation, stay until the very end for instruction. So you have to finish our session po. Hindi naman po ito matagal at I hope hindi naman siya magiging boring dahil magiging interactive po ito. Magtatanong-tanong din po ako sa inyo. Be kind in the chat space. If you need to call our attention and we don't see you raising your hand, you may also message on the board. So si Vince, who first spoke, is here to be with us and to assist you and to help me out also. So anything you need, chat lang po kung ayaw po ninyo mag-raise ng hand, no? If disconnected for any reason, wait 2 to 3 minutes, then log in again. So I'm hoping at this time, wala pa namang bumabagsak na ulan dito sa atin. I'm hoping all of you, it's the same for all of you. Baka maapektuhan po later ang ating signal. Hopefully before that happens, tapos na po ang ating session. All right? So before the next slide, can I see some reacts? Baka pwedeng may mag-react ng heart dyan. I-test nyo na rin yung react button ninyo. Ayan. Thank you, Chari, Bien, Julian, Sean, Seth, Romiel, Abigail, Chantal, D2, Lawrence, si ASC Junior, si Princess, Lyra, Miel, Joshua. Yan. Thank you so much for your support and for participating. Maritoni and Rain. Ayan. And Vanessa, thank you. So now I know kayang-kaya nating gamitin ng ating react button, no? Okay, so ano nga ba ang feature writing? A feature article is about softer news, no? Kumbaga, pag nakakabasa kayo ng balita tulad ng kakatapos lang about Bagyong Tino, 'di ba? 100, how many people are dead? Or almost 200, right? At usually, pag hard news na tinatawag, eto yung headline, 184 dead or death toll at 184, 'di ba? Kaya siya hard kasi it's the hard truth. And the truth is not always easy for us to take. Not because we don't want it, but because it affects us. No, it affects me. It makes me very sad, 'di ba? So ang feature writing is medyo mas malambot siya. Um, it sets the mood, the atmosphere, yung emotion, and then the humor of the readers. It mainly focuses on human interest, tulad ng profile ng isang tao na kailangang makilala dahil may ginagawang kakaiba. new property or attraction, no? Yung mga features sa mga lugar, or deeper analysis on events. Moreover, feature writing is less time sensitive as it is a longer piece than a news story. So, mga feature stories natin, hindi siya kailangan kung mas maigi kung yun yung pinag-uusapan sa balita, di ba? Pero kung yung topic natin ay, for example, how to waterproof your home, right? It's a very timely topic because of what's happening with the weather, with our climate, because of climate change. But the objective is to help and inform people on how to prepare their homes for rain, 'di ba? And flood, the possibility of floods. So, ibig sabihin, after 3 months, pag sinearch ko o binasa ko ulit yun, makakatulong pa rin siya. 'Di ba? I'm sure most of you were born in the era of digital content, digital news. Ang balita po, o ang content na digital, dapat po every 6 months, ino-optimize or ina-update. Dahil una, capable sila. At pangalawa, laging may bagong information, no? Para latest talaga siya, optimized. Yun yung tinatawag ng Google na optimized content. Ayan. Meron akong, may aso po sa kapitbahay na medyo maingay, pasensya na. Tinatawag niya yung kanyang human. Ayan. Okay. I hope this is clear. Are there any questions before we move to the next slide? I'm looking at all of you. Wala na.
Wala.
Okay, thank you sa sumagot. Okay, dito na tayo sa characteristics ng feature article or feature story. First, it may inform, instruct, and advise. Okay. Excuse me, Vince, can I get my my AirPods? Kasi before we started our session, it was very quiet and now the pets are acting up. Wait lang po please give me 2 minutes. Testing, can you guys hear me clearly?
Yep, yep.
Yes po. Opo.
Alright, very good. Okay. So ano nga ba ang feature story, no? Feature article. Number one, it may inform, instruct, and advise. So, tulad ng mga sinusulat natin, dapat talaga nagbibigay siya ng useful na information. Or yung instruct, yung mga tinatawag na mga how to, diba? How to prepare. Actually, the word how to is the words how to are two of the most searched talaga sa Google because anytime, any place, people need help. No, anything you need, you look for it. And then advice. This is true for example, for feature stories on mental health, for feature stories on our well-being, our health and wellness. Na aside from giving medically verified information as a valid source, tulad namin sa The Philippine Star, nagbibigay din na payo, pero hindi siya medical advice. Payo bilang um, it is our mission to tell you the truth about, ano yung latest na uso na sakit, na kondisyon, di ba? Kailangan nga ba ang flu shot dahil ang trangkaso ngayon after ng COVID, ang mga trangkaso natin nag-extend na 2 weeks, di ba? Mahaba lang pagkakasakit ng mga tao ngayon. So, ilalatag namin yung tamang information para inform talaga yung reader. Para yun din, dahil madali tayo mag-share sa ibang tao ng information, we have to make sure the information we share is correct And alam namin na yun ang behavior ng aming mga readers. So, ang gagawin namin, we make sure na tama yung information, tama yung advice. At klaro din doon na you only take medical advice from your doctor. You're merely informing you. Okay? Number two, it is factual and still requires reporting skills. A feature story needs to be truthful. If it's not truthful or, it is gawa-gawa ng ating isip, ayan ay all fiction na, di ba? Hindi na siya, hindi na siya journalism. Ibang klase ng pagsusulat na siya. Okay? Third, written to any form or style. This is true. So you see a lot written in long form or yung may mga paragraphs. Pero meron din kayong nakikita na 8 reasons to visit Boracay this December. 'Di ba? And then naka number one, number two, number three, yung tinatawag na listing mo. Minsan, may mga media platform, even our social media does this, no? Sa aming Facebook, nakikita yung um, gagawa sila ng album na yung mga images, merong text. So that it's a photo story. The photos tell a story. No? So it can be anything. The important thing is for you to write your story in a way that will be received and understood by your readers. So for example, magsusulat ako para sa mga Gen Z, di ba? Iba yung magiging approach niyan kasi Gen X ko. Mag-a-adjust ako sa approach na magiging effective para sa readers ko para matanggap nila yung message ng aking story, ng aking article. You have to remember that when you write, you don't write for yourself. You serve your reader. You write for your reader. That is the mark of a very good writer. Okay? Next, copywriting principles are applied for eye-catching copy. Ano ang copywriting? Ito yung mga nakikita natin sa mga advertisements. Di ba? Kunyari, yung cocoa milk tea, di ba? Stress Drilon, di ba? Kasi si Cess Drilon. So these are creative ways to catch the attention of your readers. Later, when after my lecture, I'll be sharing my screen and I will share some samples of stories and titles so that you can very clearly see how different the approach is with feature writing compared to news writing. Requires number five requires a strong opening to draw the reader into the piece. So sometimes what I do is I start with a story. When was the last time you went to bed without your phone? Something like that. Diba? If it's a story about the harmful effects of our mobile phones, of our gadgets sa ating sleeping patterns, for example. So it doesn't have to be, sometimes it can be thought provoking because it will make the reader think and it will make them interested to go into the story. All right. And then last, applies principles of effective writing, unity, coherence, emphasis. Kumbaga, pag binasa nyo ang isang piece, ang isang feature writing piece, gets ninyo kung ano yung main message. Usually may main message, ano ang key message, ano ang key takeaway. Ito yung gusto nating dalhin ng mga readers natin after nila basahin. Hindi pwede, and it's very good to focus on one singular message. Kasi madalas, pag maraming mensahe, nakakagulo siya ng tao. Okay? Alright. Are there questions for this slide?
Wala po.
Wala po.
None po.
Clear naman. No? Sige. Alright. So, pagkumpara natin ang feature writing, news writing, saka yung mga opinion pieces or edit. Hang on, can you give me 1 minute, please? Okay, sorry about that. I was preparing for the typhoon earlier and then na-delay po ang Grab Mart. Alright. So, balik muna tayo dito sa feature writing. Ang haba ng feature articles are normally 2,000 words. When I was starting out, tulad ng sa People Asia, di ba? I would write up to 3,000 words. And this is a good exercise because it's very good for people who are beginning to write. It's the same with people who are beginning to speak in public. Yung mga beginners ay mas marami pong sinasabi versus yung mga mass experience. So the longer you write and the longer you speak, you understand that you only have to use simple words and just the words that are necessary, for example. Next, sa news writing, it's 400 words. And then sa opinion pieces or editorial, 1,000 to 1,500 words if you have a lot of things to say. Usually, journalists who write opinion pieces or editorial, they are the veterans, di ba? Yung meron na pong mga pangalan, maganda ang kanilang reputasyon, sila ay pinaniniwalaan. Kaya importante yung kanilang mga sinishare na opinion. Na we wanna know what they think. Next is language. Feature writing uses more description and colorful messages. Sa news writing, as simple and factual as possible. Why? Because pag ginawa mo pa yung mabulaklak, mas hindi pa maintindihan ng tao kung ano yung balita talaga. And it might affect the decisions that they make from that news story. Okay? Next, opinion piece editorial, literary style, opinionated. If you have been reading blogs, a lot of them are like this. They use the first person. It could be I or we, and because they have to own the opinion that they share, and may karapatan sabihin ng Philippine Star na hindi the opinion of the writer is theirs and does not represent that whole organization. For example, no, that happens. Next, for production, more time spent on research and analysis. This is true. Here at the Philippine Star, when I started working with them, I had 3 days to write a story. But there have been times right now I only have 24 hours. Sometimes I only have less than that. So it depends on the need of the story. But normally, actually, even before you go into an interview, you already have to do your research. Sometimes, if alam ko na time-bound o kailangan na mailabas yung storya, pini-pre-write ko na siya based on my research. And then I go into an interview and then I listen to the sound bites, yung mga actual quotation ng ating subject. And then I just add them or I adjust, I make the adjustment based on the interview, pero nakasulat siya. Sa news writing, it needs to be written as fast as possible within a tight deadline dahil yun nga, it can affect the decisions that people will make. Kung mag-evacuate ba sila, kung magtataas na ba sila ng gamit, diba? Kung yung sasakyan nila, ipapark na ba nila sa mataas na lugar, hindi naghihintay ang balita. Ang importante though, we have to make sure it is the right news. So this is something that's not here on the slide, but I'm asking all of you, before we share something, let's look at the source of the post. This started during the pandemic. Ang dami-daming kala natin na ito totoong source ng information, pero hindi. And when you share wrong information, you become part of make sure it is legit, di ba? So tulad ng sa amin dito sa Philippines, a lot of the members of our social media team are around the age because we want to understand that sort of behavior, yung spread that information. We want to work with the people who are directly impacted or who can work fast para makasabay dun sa pag-spread ng information para tama yung ma-share natin. Last, yung opinion pieces, editorial spent on opinions and existing studies, research. If you, in school, you probably write essays, no, about topics you are interested about. it usually doesn't take a lot of time for you to write it because you're passionate about it. No? For example, if you ask me to write stories about health, wellness, mental health, women's health, um, pet health, yung ating mga alaga, di ba? Ano ang impact nila sa well-being ng mga humans, di ba? I can write that probably in 30 minutes kasi I have the information I need in my head because I always read about it. So it doesn't, parang relative yan. Relative yan dun sa topic at dun sa writer. And then yung presentation, feature writing is designed to be attractive. I'll show you samples later. And then sa news writing, information is most important. You know, it's the headline. And then sometimes a photo, photojournalism. It's not always a nice photo, but it's a photo that tells a story. And then the story that accompanies it should just contain the facts. And then opinion pieces editorial. Kung nagbabasa kayo ng dyaryo, ito yung mga, di ba, may picture ng writer para kilala natin kung sino siya, nandun yung pangalan din niya. And then, yun ang perspective niya. I have a column in Property Report ng Philippine Star and it's about good spaces, good vibes, no? Paano naapektuhan ng ating mental health ng ating space, whether it's at home, in school, or in the office. So dahil yun yung nature ng column ko, kahit na marami yung personal yung perspective ko, I make sure na merong mga images na makakatulong sa readers. Kasi yun yung objective. Next slide, please. Okay, excuse me. Next, content. So feature writing, it could be news related or human interest. So for example, yun nga, balik na lang ako dun sa kung ano yung matunog ngayon sa balita, di ba? Si Typhoon Tino. Um, hindi na ako magsusulat tungkol sa naapektuhan niya. Parang ang gagawin ng feature writing is to lift the spirits of people who are affected by it. And when I say affected, you don't have to be in Cebu to be affected. You could be here in Manila and feel very bad because the typhoon that this came after the earthquake, di ba? So, ano ang susulatin natin? Kung paano sila nagtulungan. Meron ako nakitang viral ngayon, may isang lalaki na he did everything he could to save as many people and animals dun sa Cebu habang tumataas na yung tubig, ganyan. So yun ang feature writing. If the big picture is very bad and very grim and very sad, feature writing will look for the good. Yeah, I'll stop with that. Feature writing will look for the good. It will highlight stories that will uplift the spirits of people. We're not denying reality. It's not toxic positivity. It's saying that out of the bad, something good can, especially in terms of disaster preparedness, di ba? Pero siguro ang pinakakailangan dyan ay yung, you know, makuha natin yung mga pondo na dapat talaga para sa development, di ba? Pero in order to do that, di naman kailangan lagi kang galit. Mas maigit pa nga yung usap ng ayos, di ba? So that's what you would also do when you write a feature about it, di ba? What can you really do about these flood control projects where no one has been held accountable? But you can say it in a nice way. You don't have to add to the end. Okay. News writing, recent or breaking news. So that's kind of self-explanatory. Opinion pieces, editorial, any issue often focuses on human interest and timely topics. Yun nga kung ano yung gustong isulat ng author. Pagdating naman sa intro, sa feature writing, often has human focus or tells notes. So you can be creative with your intros ng feature writing. News writing summarizes stories in a nutshell. Ito yung tinatawag na lead, L-E-D-E, or nut graph, na nandun yung, kumbaga, all the information, kung yun lang, hanggang dun lang yung nabasa ng reader mo. Diba? And then you can deep dive for the rest of the story. And then opinion pieces or editorial explains the issue or topic. And then feature writing sources or angles always contain a variety of sources or angles. So it could be an interview, di ba? Pwede kang magkape with your subject, interview mo siya. Pwede ding nanood ka ng musical at magsusulat doon. Diba? Pwedeng nag-travel ka sa isang bagong cafe or tinry mo lahat ng Michelin star, di ba? At nagkwento ka tungkol doon. Parang it could be any. But you need to have a valid source. Again, if it's kathang isip, fiction na siya. Ibang klaseng writing na po siya, hindi na siya journalism. The news writing doesn't contain more than one angle or source. So you always refer to one source. Opinion pieces, editorial contains a variety of sources. And then you pull them together to form your opinion. Because before you form an opinion, you have to make sure that you're right. All the data, the information that you have is correct. In terms of structure sa feature writing, it's more flexible. As mentioned earlier, it could be paragraphs, it could be a listicle. I'll show you a sample of a sidebar later para makita nyo na pwedeng may ganun ding format. News writing, inverted pyramid, and then opinion pieces, editorial, answers, the five W's and the one H. Do all of you know that, the five W's and one H? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Okay, laging ganon. All right, next slide, please. So the components of feature writing. First is the strong lead because it draws the attention. It's what makes your readers stay, di ba? So may sample tayo dito. Every morning as the sun rises over the city, a group of students walks through the same gate. Except today, something unexpected is about to change their school forever. So that's very strong and will make you want to know what is that something, right? And what change is going to happen. So this lead piques curiosity by suggesting something surprising is going to happen. So you want to stay and read the rest of the piece. Number two, this is called the nut graph. Explains the relevance and importance of the story. And then the common mistakes, yung overloading with details. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be one or two sentences. Speaking of sentence structure, when you write, the simpler the sentence is, the better. Don't try to do compound sentences, yung sobrang haba. And nung nasa Rappler ako, ang isa sa mga pinatanggal talaga sa akin, nila Maria Ressa, ay ang dangling modifiers. Ito yung parang mga umpisa bago mo sasabihin yung actual mo na point. So go straight to the point. Okay? Next is the body. It weaves the narrative, descriptions, quotations, and facts seamlessly. So if it's how you write everything together actually. It's the story. So it says here, how do you know if the body of your work is too long and winding? If you notice sections where you repeat points and you mention stuff that are not relevant to the story, again, you have to go back to what is the objective of my piece? What is the key message that I want my readers to take note of? And you stick with that. You stay on that. Ang mga advertisement, kung nakakakita kayo ng mga advertisement, di ba? Iisa lang ang call to action nila, hindi dalawa. And a lot of the award-winning advertisements are single-minded or they have a single message. Lastly, the conclusion of how you end your piece. It leaves the readers a lasting impression, a thought-provoking statement or conclusion with a punch. And then, so yun, I mentioned earlier, a call to action, diba? Is always a good idea because it's what you end with. And in life, it's not about how you start, actually, it's about how you end things, diba? How you end a conversation, how you end the fight, how you end a promise or a commitment that you made. So, ganun din sa pagsusulat. Kasi minsan, or madalas, depende sa tao, yun ang natatandaan nila. Hindi yung una mong ginawa, hindi yung huli mong ginawa. Okay? So, ito yung huli mong sinulat sa inyong article. Are there any questions for this slide? Okay. Types of feature articles, as mentioned earlier, ito yung profile features describing a person's life and environment. Number two, so ito kung may favorite kayong rockstar, may favorite kayong comics artist, may favorite kayong cosplayer, may favorite kayong gamer, di ba? You want to share their story because nakaka-inspire siya. So ito yung mga feature articles. Number two, yung how-to. Ito yung nakwento ko na kanina. Isa sa pinakasikat na topic. One of the most helpful and necessary forms of feature stories, yung how-to. Number three, yung historical features, delving into past events or traditions. The Philippine Star, marami po kaming ganito tuwing Independence Day, Araw ng Kagitingan. When we collaborate with embassies, kunyari, Malaysia Friendship Day, di ba, gagawa kami ng story. Paano nga ba nag-umpisa ang magandang relationship ng Philippines at Malaysia? And the next would be cultural features, spotlighting Filipino cultures, traditions, and festivals. Kakatapos lang ng undas. And ang sinulat ko doon ay dalawang feature articles. Yung isa is tungkol sa kung gaano ka-importante yung pag-grieve, 'di ba? Pag namatayan ka, bakit importante na umiyak ka, 'di ba? You have to feel the loss. It's okay, it doesn't mean you're weak. And why it's healthy. And then the second is how Filipinos grieve now na meron ng online, ng Zoom, 'di ba? Meron ng Google Meet, may mga video call. Nag-iba na rin yung manner in the way that a community or a family grieves the death of a member, right? And then last, yung trending stories highlighting current societal or cultural trends. I saw a lot, if any of you remember, nung natuto si Mayor Vico Soto na bagong font sa Facebook, ang daming naging stories about that, right? Kasi nagte-trend talaga siya. When you write something that's relevant or trendy, there are more chances for people to see it and read it. Kasi yun ang usap-usapan eh. Ganyan. So, sadly ngayon, walang magandang balita masyado na yung ganun ka-funny. Kasi nung last time that I taught this class with Vince and Bubu also, it was face-to-face. And ang matunog na balita nun yung bagong fonts ni Mayor Vico sa Facebook eh. Ngayon, wala tayong medyo magaang na story. Siguro ang nakikita ko yung mga pets that got reunited with their owners in Cebu. And again, those people who helped other people and animals, small puppies who got rescued during the flood. Ayan. So, yun yung mga trending stories na yun. Next slide. So, ano ang significance ng feature writing? Bakit nga ba siya kailangan? Number one, it dives deep into events, showing a different side or dimension of the subject. Hard news, the very serious news, can make us very angry or make us very sad or make us lose hope. Para mawawalan ka na ng, or mawawalan ka ng tiwala. Diba? Sa gobyerno, sa mga tao. Feature writing, ang feature articles, they bring back that hope. They they give you a different perspective or a different way of seeing such a bad or a grim picture. Okay. So that's why we are significant. Or, ginamit ko tong example nung sa last ko din na class. I had the chance to profile Senator Cynthia Villar. And before I went into that interview, I did not know her. But I knew that a lot of bad things were being said about her. Lagi siyang ginagamit sa mga meme, di ba? And then when I got to know her, I spent about 5 to 6 hours with her at her farm. Because I was interviewing not just with my questions, eh. I was interviewing by observing. And I realized she is just what like our lola or like our tita na magdadala ng pagkain tapos pipilitin kang kainin yun kahit ayaw mo na. Tapos nakita ko masaya siya sa mga kalabaw. yung mga alaga nilang kalabaw sa farm. Ang makikita mo sa Senate hearing is not the same Cynthia Villar. And I ended up writing about that Cynthia Villar, and she loved it. There was no correction. It was one of those stories na walang pinabago yung subject, alam mo yun, or nagalit kasi may mali kang nilagay. Kasi nagsabi ka ng totoo at yun yung totoo na hindi nakikita ng maraming tao. Ganun kaganda opportunity when you do feature writing. Second, it informs readers about issues, people, events, or places with beautiful images. Yun, a lot of beautiful visuals. Number three, it celebrates inspiring people and stories and shares solutions to life-related issues. Again, same, the profiles and then the how-tos. It shows the big picture but focuses on aspects or details we often miss. Pag nega ang lahat, hanapin mo yung maganda doon. Meron, laging meron. Yun ang natutunan ko, 25 years of doing lifestyle entertainment features. There's always something good, even if it's sometimes very hard to see. It can take on different formats to platform or audience. It is on. So I've mentioned this already. I've explained this earlier. Next slide, please. So why it matters? Next slide. Ayan. Yan yung mga samples. Pero hindi ako yung nagsulat niyan sa ibang sections namin to. No? It tells human stories beyond the facts. Next slide. It delves deeper, going beyond surface level news to provide depth, context, and understanding. But what you're seeing is actually a sample. It's a feature, but it's also sort of an editorial of the columnist seeing that, right? Next slide, please. And then building connections, engaging readers, and fostering empathy. So at this particular now, you're looking at a feature on mental health care in the Philippines, no, which is not something a lot of people are comfortable to talk. Last one is showcasing culture, shows the Philippines' heritage and local experiences. So, kung ano yung mga, di ba, taga rito tayo sa bansa natin, pero marami actually mga events na pwede nating puntahan, tulad ng mga events natin dito sa nakaka-local. I think we have nakakapasko na rin, magkakaroon ng maraming pang iba. So, follow nyo rin kami sa social media para aware kayo sa latest na mga happenings ng the Philippine Star. Next slide. Okay, so ano yung process ng pagsusulat ng feature story? Number one, of course, piliin mo yung topic. Diba? What are you going to write about? And you decide, I want to write it because it's trending, or I want to write it because it's helpful, or I want to write it because people have to know it. Okay? And make sure it's factual. Hindi siya fiction. Kasi again, that shouldn't be in a newspaper or in a media platform if it's not truthful. Second, your research. You gather facts, figures, interviews, and background information. So basically, if you're going to interview a person, before you interview them, you have to research about them also. Or you feature an organization, you research about it before going into it because it matters to them if you've done your due diligence. I have seen interviews go bad because the subject knew that the person did not do their interview. Mga book author na in-interview ng isang writer at obvious na hindi siya nagbasa, hindi niya alam yung mga sinulat, yung mga questions niya. It's all over the internet already yung mga sagot. Walang ibang bagong yun yung risk no, pag hindi kayo nag-research. Third, planning and structuring. So how we write our features articles at the start is you have a title and then a deck, that description, or that's the lead, diba? And then you begin with a not graph or something more creative. But we do have our subheaders. Why? So if you want to scan the article to decide if you want to read it or not, it's easy to know what it's really about. And that's where copywriting, yung what we do in advertising, is also very helpful. So I suggest you also um, read up on copywriting, and siguro that's something that we can teach you in the future kung makakatulong yun. Next is writing. So you have to write. A lot of people overthink writing. So they get paralyzed, they're not able to write. The first thing you just do is just write whatever is top of mind. There is no perfect writer, and no person is above having an editor or a fresh set of eyes to check. And when I say writing, kayo po ang magsusulat at hindi ang AI. AI, I'm not gonna speak against it. It's up to us how we use it. But ganito lang yun eh. The more we use our brains, the healthier our brain matter is. Yung mismong utak. Utak. The less we use our brains, lumiliit siya. Okay? So, kailan natin na-exercise ang ano? Pag nagbabasa, nag-analyze, nagsusulat, nakikinig, nanonood, di ba? Kasi hindi kayang gawin ni, ano yan eh, yung parang with the emotions and reactions of a human, hindi kayang gawin ni AI yan. Okay? So, and the older you get, the smaller the brain matter becomes. So if today you've already started using just AI to write, then that's going to be a problem when you hit 40 or 50. Your memory will deteriorate earlier and faster, right? Next, editing and revising. Usually the editing is done by another person. You always have to have an editor. It's not going to be you. And for the editor naman, kung meron tayong mga kasamang editors dito, when you edit, you don't rewrite. The rewriting should be done by the writer, not you. Because you can't change what another writer wrote to suit your voice. You're there to look at grammar, spelling, and structure. And if the key message is very clear. Ganun ang editor. Alright? May mga questions ba tayo? Or later nyo na gusto ko itanong. Okay, next slide. Okay, effective interview techniques. Interviewing is one of the things I love to do because especially like yung kay Senator Cynthia, ex-former Senator Cynthia, I didn't know her and lahat tayo, baka kayo na-experience nyo na, yung para bang hindi naman kayo kilala ng tao pero naiinis na sa inyo or nagsasabi ng mga hindi to about you. 'Di ba? It happens to all of us and it happens to people like them too. And they are human. They are daughters, they are mothers, they are grandmothers, right? So when I interviewed her, that's when I saw her, the human, the human, not the person I would see on TV at sa mga memes. No? So anyway, masaya mag-interview. Preparing for the interview, you have to do your research. And you have to limit your questions to 8 to 10 questions. It's also happened to me because you don't want to interview for 2 hours. That's going to be a lot of transcription na hindi mo naman magagamit. Kami sa Star, pag alam kong yung space ay half page, okay, that's 250 words kung maraming photos. 300 to 400 words kung moderate lang yung photos. So for that, I only need about 30 minutes of interview with that. Diba? So, hindi kailangan madaming questions. Meron ding mga interviewees na first question pa lang, sinagot na niya lahat. That's okay. I'm going to the second point, active listening. It's when someone says something important and you repeat it so they can revalidate it. That's important. You listen to a person, listen to what they're saying so you understand what they're saying. Don't listen to the voice in your head telling you what the next question is. Because also, when you do active listening, you can pick up on things that are not being explicitly said. Yung hindi sinasabi ng diretsyo, pero maririnig mo yung alinlangan, maririnig mo yung alala, maririnig mo yung saya, di ba? And pag sinama mo yun sa feature story mo, mas may texture. So yung magbabasa ng feature story mo, mararamdaman niya yung. Next is building rapport. Well, first for me to build rapport, you have to dress properly, di ba? Focus on your grooming. You have to be presentable, dress appropriately, and then shake their hand. If the person is older than you or higher than you, in terms of, di ba, President Bongbong, for example, I won't call him sir. I will call him President Marcos. Natutunan ko po yan kay Lauren Legarda. Baka hindi nga na naabutan. Google nyo. When you call them sir and ma'am, you place yourself beneath them. But you're the journalist, right? So you address them properly. It's not being disrespectful. It's addressing them properly, following protocol. And then next is taking note. Um, Kalakaran na talaga na pag nagre-record, nag-interview, nagre-record with I use my phones. So I have two phones. One is for recording audio and the other is for recording video or photos, taking photos. But I always have my pen and paper because I write down the important points I don't want when I transcribe, tapos sobrang haba, nakalimutan ko na yun. Take note ko ano yung mga babalikan ko na parts ng interview. So everything else still matters. And not everything can be done for us by AI. There's a lot of good in the old-fashioned way that we do things that can get better, di ba? Can be done better with technology. Okay. Next slide. So ethical considerations and feature writing. Medyo straightforward to. Number one, honesty and accuracy. You have to be honest. You have to tell the truth. You have to write facts and accurate, tama. You validate it through valid sources. Hindi yung mga kung sino-sino experts na nandyan. And pag na-realize mo nagkamali ka, there's such a thing as an erratum that we also do. That happened to me. Hindi dahil nagkamali ako. I did a feature on the Malaysian embassy, and a representative of the embassy gave me numbers. The number of Malaysian tourists who came to the Philippines for a particular year. It came from them. And then the following day, nung nakalabas na yung story, they realized na nagkamali sila. So, syempre, it's under my name, right? Because I wrote it. So it was important to me that we came out with an erratum corrective because you don't want to give people wrong information. Second, avoiding plagiarism. Plagiarism is taking another's work and calling it your own. Another form that this happens, which is very subtle, is we use a photo and don't do attribution. Crediting the owner is very important. Especially you guys are young, you're starting out. You will get to a point where you're gonna form a reputation in the industry, and they would know, naku, nagpa-plagiarize yan, make it right, or they take work that is not theirs, and then they own it. No, people will know. Maliit ang mundo. We are big. The world, I mean, malaki ang mundo, pero people will know if you are not ethical in your work. Okay. And then third is respecting privacy. So often, and this happens in interviews because you see a side of them that is not prepared for a photo. For example, they're very human. You hear private conversations if sila sa phone nila. Hindi na po uso ngayon ng scoop, 'di ba? Meron ng cyber libel din ngayon. Pwede na tayong mademanda. Wala ring libel, slander, 'di ba? If you know that this part of their private life, it would hurt them, don't do it for the clicks. It's not worth it. You will also be dubbed as someone who is not trustworthy. And trust is such an important aspect in our line of work. If if a subject doesn't trust me, they won't even let me interview them. No? And if the subject doesn't respect me, then that will affect how the interview will go. So I have interviewed a lot of people whose privacy I chose to respect because you have to do the right thing. And tayo, Importante din sa atin ang privacy natin. Lalo na ngayon na pag nasa internet na yan, dyan na yan forever. Paano kung may mga bata? Paano kung may mga mahal sa buhay? Diba? Paano kung kayo, someday maghahanap ng trabaho? Nasa internet na yung mga private parts of your life from the past. So you have to be careful din talaga. Right? And don't do it to your subjects. Next slide. Okay. What was your favorite teacher article? I think this is a question I'm gonna ask of you. Or if you want, habang pinag-iisipan ninyo, pwede naman akong mag-share ng screen very quickly din so I can take them through some of my stories. Is that okay? Vince?
Yes,
I
we'll
think you
try.
can share naman. Can you try? Wala.
Should I stop share?
Very
I'll try.
quickly. Ayan. So example, ayan, kung nakikita ninyo. So this is something I wrote no Women's Month this year. Ang source nito is isang event na pinuntahan ko, kinover ko, sinalihan. Nagbigay pagpapagay ang Mega World sa mga inspiring na women. Diba? So kita ninyo, ito, yung title ko pa lang ay hindi na parang balita. But it is about a celebration of women. And then, yung aking parang yung mega world sa walls and face our life, shine a spotlight on Filipino trailblazers and then, so tignan nyo yan. Um, merong quote para sa magandang mga quote no, from the event. Actually, aside from covering the event, nag-interview din ako ng mga awards. So, there. You can see my subheads so that if you scan it, you already know na what it's about. Okay? And then more photos so that the reader feels like they are there. So this is one example of a feature story written about an event that I covered and some people I interviewed. Next, ito, balik tayo kay Ma'am Camille. Ito naman to, dito si Miss Cynthia. So ito ay tungkol sa how they celebrated Christmas by raffling off a house sa mga OFW sa Taiwan. So it's more of, it was an event that was finished. Hindi ko siya kinover, pero binigyan ako ng information. And from that information, I had to write. They shared photos with me, and I had to write as if I was there. No? But the goal is to tell people that Vista Land does it for OFWs. Next, dito na lang tayo. Hang on. Ayan, this is one of my favorites. So, this is the title, Sun, Sea, and Sanctuaries. Our waters and marine life are also impacted by the climate crisis. What can we do to save them? So see, that's my title and that's my deck, my lead. How do I open it? Kung makikita ninyo, with a quote. The value of the ocean isn't just in its beauty, it's in the quiet way it gives life to everything on earth. The sea doesn't ask for much, but it gives us everything, from the air we breathe to the peace we seek. Protecting the ocean is more than just an environmental cause. It's safeguarding the heart of our planet. So that's how I opened this because I wanted to set the tone na pag-uusapan natin bakit importante ang dagat. Importante yung mga buhay, dagat, di ba? Yung marine life. So, yun lang. Yun lang yung some of the samples that I found here on my laptop. I hope klaro siya. Vince, I'll stop sharing. Thank you. What was your favorite teacher article? Meron ba sa inyo may huling nabasa before coming here to class? Or if you have any questions for me dun sa ating mga napag-usapan, now's the time for you to ask.
For the questions, you can just type it in the chat. We'll wait for some of your questions. Please type it up. Uh, any questions? Vince, do you have any questions for Miss Kai?
I don't have po.
Okay, ako na lang magtatanong, Miss Kai. Miss Kai, have you ever had an experience where you had to do an interview or a feature story on someone that you personally had certain biases against? And how did you still do your job objectively?
Yeah, that was yung kay Senator Cynthia Villar nga. Kasi hindi ko siya kilala personally, pero ang daming negativity, di ba? Daming negative about them, about the Villars. So what I did was, honestly, well, I prayed about it because if I am to do my work as a journalist, I have to focus on the facts and not my feelings. And when I write, I had to keep in mind I wasn't writing for me. It's not about serving myself. It's about serving my reader. And the goal was to show what she does in her farm. That was mainly the goal. I took her the way she was. I looked at her like a regular human being, and I observed how she would talk to the farmers, how she would talk to her workers. Maayos ba ito makipag-usap sa mga taong baba? No? Sa mga nagtatrabaho para sa kanya, paano niya sila tinatrato? That was already part of my interview. Bukod dun sa tanungan namin, with my prepared questions based on my research, um, and then, because the thing is, life is about unlearning and relearning. And you don't come into an interview or you don't come into a coverage where you think you already know what you're going to write about or you know your subject. It's a wonderful thing to know that you're not always right, but you can correct or change your thoughts in your mind. And that number two, you learn from everyone you meet, whether it's a good subject or a bad subject, a good person or a bad person. So yun yung pinaka-classic. Wala lang akong copy dito kasi I was using a different laptop back then. Nakasave siya doon.
Another question I have, Miss Kai, is what are the common mistakes? Because you teach a lot of writing classes, so you see a lot of young writers, and even I know for a fact your team is pretty young. So, what are
Hmm.
the common mistakes of young writers nowadays, and what do you advise them to avoid these mistakes?
First, if it's not your personal blog or don't make it about you. I had one content producer in my team for the Undas supplement who was writing about himself. And that wasn't the brief, di ba? That wasn't the instruction. Kasi the goal is always to help the readers, di ba? But it was, pwede naman na, kasi it was about his grief, share lang siya. Pero kung may helpful takeaway, wala. And so yun yung una. Pangalawa ay yung mag-rely sa technology. Maniwala kayo sa hindi, there is a way for editors to know if you have chat GPT something. Because bago pa, ang AI naman minodong sa tao yan. So, nung finorm yung algorithm or whatever, that program, they probably studied how editors edit, di ba? Or how people write. Again, I have nothing against it. It is here to help us with our life. But for your sake, do not rely on it. Diba? Try to do it also. Try to do the right thing. Yeah, don't make it about you. Rely too much on technology. And number three, and the last one is overthinking. Paralysis is a common problem for writers because they overthink. Like it has to be perfect. It doesn't have to be. Just write it out. Follow the steps that we shared kanina. You have a subject, you make the outline, di ba? Galing naman siya sa research na tama at facts, di ba? Then write. Once you're done with all of that, write. Um, don't overthink. There is no such thing as a perfect piece. Um, ayun. Yun yung tatlo. Boom.
Okay,
Ay,
we have a call-in question from Ma'am Gachi. What are your thoughts on YouTube feature videos vis-a-vis feature writing? Maybe commonalities, differences, opinion niyo po on the differences of both, how to approach each.
Um, again, in our work, we serve our reader. There are readers, baka tayo din, di ba, who prefer to listen. There are those who prefer to read. There are those who prefer to watch. And any medium that serves the audience that it is speaking to, so it can help bring helpful, factual information is okay. A lot of the time, before sa Rappler, pag meron akong interview, di naka-YouTube siya, di ba? Naka-embed po siya dun sa page ng story ko, and then the transcript is also there. Very TEDx, no? Very TED Talks. Kasi we acknowledge may mga taong hindi mahilig magbasa, they prefer to watch or to listen, and there are those who prefer to write. So we provide every possible format for any potential audience.
Okay. Sorry, last in the PMs. Guys, if you have questions, please put it in the group chat. Ito na yung last from my PM. It's PressCon season again in our division. If you were to judge a feature writing contest, what would be your look fors in an article? Something that would set it apart. So I think we have a lot of journalists competing. Ano po tips nyo?
Copywriting. It's how eye-catching your title is, how informative, but at the same time, it catches my attention. Because yun nga, if you guys are competing, di ang dami kong babasahin, di ba? Ba't ako titigil dun sa title mo? So copywriting in advertising is a good skill as a journalist in feature writing. That's one.
Okay.
Second, of course, the basic grammar and spelling. Grammar is still important. Okay, spelling is still important. And the sentence structure is it yun nga yung nasabi ko kanina, simple versus compound sentences. Simple always wins. Simple language always wins. Huwag kayo, maraming writer na baguhan. Akala nila pag gumamit sila ng salita na hindi mo maintindihan at hahanapin mo pa sa dictionary, they think that it makes them look good. It doesn't. The best writers write simply and get the message across very clearly with simple words. Ayun.
Lori Lee's has a question. How important is first, second, and third person po? Which is the best to use in a feature article?
You never use first person if it's a feature article because a feature article is about a different subject. Ngayon, kung yung Laurelese, kung yung sabi sa'yo ng editor mo, o punta ka nga ng Boracay, tapos isulat mo yung experience mo from your perspective, that's when you use the first person. Okay? Second and third, it actually depends on the on what you're writing about. Pero the best to use in a feature article, okay, is if it's not from your perspective dahil hindi yun ang assignment, it's the third person. If it's the assignment is to write it from your perspective, it's the first person.
Okay, tips on making a title po sana. Like how can we make a simple but catchy title?
Have to read. You have to read a lot. It really helps you with the words, with the play of words and wordsmithing na tinatawag namin. You have to read, you have to watch documentaries. There are so many documentaries on creativity, sa Netflix, madami, manood kayo. Kasi if you're aware of what's happening, nasa pop culture ka, di ba? Ang dali ng play of words. Like, and it's ano, it's the syntax, you listen to it. Yung pinakita ko kanina, sun, sea, and sanctuary. I could have just written about the importance of marine life, right? But I wanted, in my mind, ang naisip ko, pag binasa yun, dapat nararamdaman niya. Pag nakita niya yung sun, word na sun, nararamdaman niya yung init. Pag nakita niya yung sea, naririnig niya yung tubig, yung dagat, di ba? So, you have to, Sandra, you have to place yourself in the position of the person who will read your piece. How do you want them to feel as they are reading your piece? You want them to feel scared or sad? Or do you want them to feel inspired or challenged? Like you said, you write for them, not for yourself. Okay.
Okay, next question from LNU, Romiel Theodore. Are there some news articles having some sentences that could be misinterpreted or misunderstood by some readers? Maybe the question is, have you had experience where you felt like you were misunderstood? And maybe how do you make sure that what you're communicating gets across and hindi siya hindi siya ma-misunderstand ng readers, especially for sensitive topics.
Dito papasok ang punctuation marks. Dito papasok ang Oxford comma. If you're not an Oxford comma user, I suggest you start using it. Uh, Punctuation marks spell a difference in your writing. Ayun. Pero sa akin, wala pa namang na misunderstand. Kasi it is your byline. So I always make sure tama ako. And one of the things, LNU, Romiel, that you have to remember is don't be afraid to ask questions. Hindi ko nabanggit kanina doon sa pag-interview, yung if hindi kayo sure kung paano i-pronounce yung pangalan ng subject nyo, tanungin nyo sila, how do I pronounce? Because you want to be able to address them properly and correctly, no? Before the start of your interview. And then at the end of the interview, just to clear, no, you said this earlier. You repeat it and make sure you got everything right. Ayun, don't be afraid to ask.
Okay, next question is from Fern. I don't know, Miss Kai, if this is the same answer as the question kanina about title, but what are your strategies for crafting a strong lead or hook?
Medyo connected siya dun sa title kasi siya yung susunod eh, di ba? Um, para yung Sun, Sea, and Sanctuaries, mabalik lang ako doon. I gave the case kung bakit marine life is so important. That's it. Parang it depends on your topic. The thing with features is you can write about everything. I can write about um, the process of staying and neutering community cats, diba? To why is it important to feed them this? Why are they important? A lot of communities now have pest problem, mga rodent, because pina-pound nila lahat ng mga pusa, for example. So, depende siya sa title mo.
So, tamang-tama, leading to the next question. What's your favorite part of writing feature articles?
It's being able to serve the reader, receiving feedback that it was helpful to them. And in my life, it's receiving messages from subjects, people I have written about, or institutions I have written about, na they have never been written about like that. Eh ngayon, di ba, ang dami-daming pwedeng sa Google eh. Everyone's today, later, I'm gonna interview Jason Derulo, the music artist. And if you Google Jason Derulo, there's gonna be a lot already about him. But to be able to show something that people are seeing, hearing about for the first time about this artist who's been around for so many years, and then you hear from the subject mismo, that's my favorite part. because they do. They reach out and they say thank you.
Okay, Cassandra asks, is it okay if my feature is editorial-like or column-like sometimes?
It's okay, Cassandra, if that is the objective, 'di ba? Kasi yun nga, before you start a feature writing assignment, may objective yan. Dapat may brief yan. Ano yung kailangang takeaway, 'di ba? Like I said, kung ang subject, ang sinabi ng editor, write it from your perspective, use the first person. If you have an opinion, you can write it there, but again, don't make it about you because your goal is to inform the reader.
Okay, Chester
Yeah.
Marquez asks, hi, Miss Kai, what is one of your favorite type of feature articles that you've written or read, and what makes it stand out to you in terms of storytelling or impact?
Um, Alam mo, Chester, I will always be proud of my project makeover series for Yahoo before, where we featured real people who needed help with changing their life or starting over with their life, but they don't have the resources. So what I would do is I would use my connections, pull the institutions who can help them. Very timely, Typhoon Tino. That was the era of Typhoon Yolanda. And there were two girls who survived Yolanda. One was from Ormoc, and the other one was from Tacloban. And nagpunta sila dito sa Philippines. Sila yung subject ko sa project makeover. Literal, they just shared with me their story. So, finiture ko sila. Common tao, lumipad sa military plane. Baba sa Villamor, kung ano yung mga libreng underwear at damit doon. Namili lang sila para may masuot sila. Naganap sila ng trabaho dito para sa pamilya nila doon. So, I said that story. And then, so many people reached out to me. Sherry Hill, when she was alive, sabi niya, Kai, bring them to my play. I want to meet them and I want to give them words of encouragement. Si Lord Ramos said, Kai, bring them to my salon. I'll give them a free makeover para sa work nila. Maganda sila, hindi sila mukhang haggard. SM asked me to bring them to SM department store so they can buy proper office attires na sukat talaga nila. And as we speak, one is already happily married in the US, and then the other has gotten over her PTSD. She's a very successful automotive executive who's now based in Manila. And we're still friends. We have not forgotten what we went through. Every part of that makeover, I shared their story on Yahoo because I didn't have personal resources to buy them what they needed, but I had the platform and I had the connections. So using your writing to help people, making an impact in a community, that's my favorite part.
Okay, is it from Leanne? Is it
Mhm.
okay po in feature writing if you add your own opinion that you know about the main topic, even if it's not in the fact sheet?
No, unless it is an editorial or an opinion piece.
From Laura Lee's, for the title po, is it good or bad po if we merge two words together? For example po, Drown Mass Month for the topic of Christmas and your issue is typhoons po.
It's not bad, it's actually good. You have to keep in mind na all the words we're using now were invented by different people in the past. Rappler is not a real word. It was invented, real word. It was invented from the words rap and record. Diba? O ngayon, common na siya. We use it every day. So, para sa akin, Laurelise, this is a way of being creative with your title. Then it's good. Diba? Oo nga naman. Kasi Pasko, nalunod ang Cebu. Diba? So, okay siya. It's good for me.
Okay, Furnace asking, when it comes to editing po, what are the common pitfalls you watch out for when polishing a feature?
You have to keep reminding yourself that an editor is not a writer. When you edit, you're not rewriting. Diba? You're looking out for certain things. Kasi the less experienced editors, they rewrite, they tend to rewrite, and then it sounds like them na, hindi na yung original na writer. Um, Ayun. And then, second siguro is overthinking the editing. I always tell my young content producers that when they edit, just read ng relaxed. 'Di ba? Huwag kang mag-edit dahil naghahanap ka ng mali. Magbasa ka ng relax kasi dapat ganyan din yung pagbasa no magbabasa. Ayun, yun lang naman dalawa.
Okay, Rian is asking, when writing the ending, how do you connect to your readers and the topic itself without writing something unrelated to it? Maybe the question is about focus.
Yeah, you go back to the key message. As a writer, what do I want to leave my reader with? Sometimes you can go back to the lead, you can go back to the intro, di ba? Tapos i-reiterate mo siya. Or if you're talking about a restaurant, di ba? There, you can reach them at their social media or through this tech details, di ba? Ibig sabihin, yung call to action is for people to reach out, to ask for help. Madalas yan sa mga mental health stories o kailangan ng support groups, lalagay mo doon ka mag-close, di ba? If you need help, it's not a sign of weakness to ask for help. There are communities around you. Call them now. Da. You share the contact details. Do not write anything unrelated. Ikaw na mismo sa Rian, alam mo na hindi siya related. Huwag mo na ilagay kasi nilito mo pa yung reader mo.
Okay. Um,
Ah,
Steph is asking, I guess connected rin to, regarding conclusions, aside from the circular ending style, is there any other recommended styles to end articles?
yes. I think that was my same answer. So you can summarize, 'di ba, to reiterate your key message, or you can leave them with a call to action.
So, Jezel asked if you use onomatopoeia for the title and lyrics for a song. For maybe for an article for lead. Okay siya. Tama to. Sinagot mo na rin to kanina, right? Onomatopoeia.
Ah, kasi Giselle, ang risk mo dyan, pag onomatopoeia yan, yung ibig sabihin, hindi yan na alam ng nakararami. So, immediately, nilimita mo na yung audience mo o yung readers mo na makakaintindi. Yung lyrics pwede, kaso onomatopoeia, ano yan eh, that's very highbrow. It's not okay, not for me. You limit kung sino yung makakaintindi, may chance din na hindi siya sticky, hindi siya eye-catching. A lot of creative people do that, but a feature article is not it's not creative writing. Okay.
Okay. Um, what's one piece of advice you wish you'd receive earlier in your writing journey?
Um, it's that the simpler you write, the better. Because when we are students and we start using the dictionary, we think na the more intelligent the words we use, the better. Or the more we say, the better. Lalo na kung may ano tayo, di ba? Hindi ko alam kung meron pa ka ngayon sa school nito eh. Yung mga formal writing exercises na kailangan may ma-meet ka na number of words. Um, so paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, the simpler your words, the better. The simpler your sentences, the better. You're not writing for yourself. You can write fiction so you can win a palangka. Di ba? But that's a different kind of writing. It's not for journalism.
Unfortunately, it's 11:50 and we'd like to do a hard cut by 12. If you have more questions for Miss Kai, kindly email them at epaper@philstarmedia.com. On the subject line, write for Miss Kai, and we'll happily send it to her. I know you have more questions, and Miss Kai has a lot to teach pa, but
Mm.
since we're all also preparing for the typhoon, please, again, if you have more questions for Miss Kai, kindly email them at epaper@philstarmedia.com and put for Miss Kai on subject and we'll send it to her. Miss Kai, maybe some last words before I turn it over to Vince for more instructions on their certificate.
Sige, one sentence answers. How many paragraph? There is no limit. It depends on what you're writing about. Is it okay if I use a medium for a title? No. Again, it's very matalino. Siguro to open, pwede. Tapos, Okay, nasagot na yung isa. May nag-send sa akin ng direct message. Nasagot na. That's it.
Vince?
Okay. Thank you so much po. So for the certificates, please scan this QR code. We will open the Google form. Miss Bu, what until time tayong i-open yung
I'll
Google
I'll
form?
I'll close the Google form at 12:20. So if you want your certificate, please sign in and answer it by 12:20. You'll receive your certificates 3 to 5 days max. 3 to 5 working days after. So please, hanggang 12:20 lang if you want your certificate, scan the QR code. And Vince, we have a challenge for all our attendees, right?
Yes po. So our challenge would be write a feature piece about what can you contribute to solve the flood control issues. Have an at least 500 to 800 words. Make sure to apply what you have learned in the workshop. Your entry should be submitted on December 13, 2025. Please indicate your name, grade level, and your school. Entries must be submitted at epaper@philsonmedia.com.
All your entries will be read by Miss Kai. Miss Kai will determine the winner, and the winner will be published with our e-paper. Hindi lang yung winner yung mapapublish rin yung mga other notable articles that Miss Kai will choose, except that the winner, who has to be a Rediscover student, kasama siya sa Rediscover program, will have a small cash prize. But do join. The contest is open to everyone who is part of Rediscover, kahit yung mga classmates nyo na hindi nakapag-attend. But syempre may edge kayo kasi alam nyo na yung mga hinahanap ni Miss Kai, 'di ba? Alam nyo na yung mga marami na kayong na-learn sa kanya. So, I do hope you join the contest. And I think that's it, Vince.
Yes
That's
po.
it.
Yes po. Yes po.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us today, Miss Kai. Always grateful to learn so much from you. Thank you for always saying yes to our invitation. And guys, if you want to reach out to Miss Kai, please email us. If you have nahiya kayo mag-ask ng questions and we'll make sure. Vince, I think they need the QR code again. So, flash it na lang as we say goodbye. So, Miss Kai, ikaw na huling mag-goodbye.
Tandaan ninyo ha, maingat sa mga sinishare, know your sources, and be one of those valid sources, be one of the truth tellers like us here at the start. Thank you, and please stay safe and dry.
Okay, thanks everyone. If you've scanned the QR code, you may leave the room. I'll just keep my Zoom room and QR code flashing till 12. But for everyone else, yeah, have a great lunch, stay safe, prepare for the upcoming storm, help each other, be kind. That's it. Bye, guys. Vince, let's just keep it flashing till 12 in case may mga humabol pa.
Okay, okay.
I'll keep the room open for 5 more minutes. Bye, guys. Keep safe.